Welcome to Asian American Life. I'm Ernabelle DeMillo. Summer is the perfect time to visit New York City's museums, including this one, the New Museum, Manhattan's only museum devoted exclusively to contemporary artists, including Winnie Minerva, whose painting is behind me. And just upstairs is the first U.S. solo exhibit of Vietnamese-American artist Tuan Andrew Nguyen. Driven by a desire to connect with his Vietnamese culture and history, artist Tuan Andrew Nguyen connects with his past with radiant remembrance. The exhibit focuses on healing generational traumas caused by colonialism, war, and displacement. The artist uses archival research and strong community engagement to incorporate installations, sculptures, embroideries, and photographs. They harmonize with the film, enriching the viewer's experience. One of his centerpieces focuses on the Vietnam War, a sculpture composed of an unexploded bomb dropped from an American B-52 plane. Nguyen also turns an ordnance into a bell. When you hit the bell with a mallet, it vibrates at high frequencies. People believe this will help you heal from trauma and will bring peace of mind. What a fascinating exhibit. And we have a great show ahead, including Asian American stories about our communities and contributions to cultural arts. Healing the children, I traveled to Guayaquil, Ecuador on a special medical mission. Meet Ji Young, Sesame Street's first Asian American puppet. Plus, photographer Leah Chang frames stories about our communities. Basement workshop artists and mother and son share their keys to musical success. This and more on Asian American Life.
Yeah, so what we do is we'll first sleep with the mask.
Christian Cancino is a CRNA, Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist.
My favorite part about being a nurse is being able to connect with people in very immediate way. So I have 15 minutes to allay their fears, relieve their anxiety, and build a connection that is, that really allows them to trust me with their life.
It's the skills that were needed for a mission like this one. Cancino was part of a 29-member pediatric urological medical mission organized by the nonprofit Healing the Children, New Jersey.
Are you scared? Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, everything's gonna be okay.
I was invited to follow the team on their journey, one that started in New Jersey, where volunteers packed medical equipment and supplies to the Hospital de Niños Dr. Roberto Gilbert in the heart of Guayaquil.
This is our first trip since COVID. So we started planning this trip probably January. We were thinking about it, started exchanging patient lists February. It's very important to understand a lot of this work cannot be accomplished without a host surgeon. Getting a host hospital, the Junta de Beneficio, which supports us when we come, giving us operating rooms.
Dr. Joseph Charlemagne has gone on about 16 missions. He's actually lost count. As one of the trip administrators, he had to help find the right team, which included surgeons from the tri-state-based Pediatric Urology Associates, anesthesiologists, nurses, a pediatrician, and translators from St. Peter's University. It was a busy week from start to finish. On day one, families who had been waiting for almost 3 years sat patiently in the waiting room. As the doctors met with parents in the clinic, the other half of the team worked on preparing the operating rooms and unpacking supplies brought from the U.S.
Since we're bringing in supplies and stocking the rooms ourselves, sometimes you don't really know what you need until you need it.
Like many of the volunteers here, Cancino joined because he wanted to help families who didn't have access to complicated and expensive surgical care.
I think initially when I first started, I think I realized that being a Filipino American, I was granted a lot more opportunities than I would have been if I had grown up in the Philippines.
In fact, his first mission was in the Philippines in 2019, with his brother, also a CRNA. That trip helped reconnect the siblings who were living separate lives. They were looking forward to their next mission, but then the unthinkable happened. Cancino was overcome with emotions when asked about his brother.
Give me a second. You know, unfortunately, 8 months ago, my brother passed away, and we couldn't go on this mission trip. We couldn't go on this mission trip together like we promised, but my plans to honor him, you know, my plan is to honor our promise and our mission to continue helping those that are not afforded the opportunities that we have had.
Despite a heavy heart, Cancino decided to go to Ecuador, one of the first fly-in medical missions since 2019. Here, he and the team performed 40 life-changing surgeries in 5 days.
Mi amor, mama.
Thank you. Mucha gratitud. A veces la palabra gratitud no, o sea, debe ser una inmensidad de lo que sentimos, tanto mi persona, mi familia y decirlo así, todos los niños que se han visto beneficiados.
Primeramente, que Dios los bendiga y que estoy muy agradecida y que saquen con bien a mi hija mañana.
Gracias por operarme, gracias por hacerme sentir feliz, gracias por cumplirme mi sueño que quería siempre.
It was memories like this one that the volunteers like Cancino will take home with them. And at the end of a long week, a brother made good on his promise. In Guayaquil, Ecuador, I'm Ernabel DeMillo for Asian American Life.
I'm Vivian Lee for Asian American Life.
And I'm Ji Young from Sesame Street.
You know, Jiyoung, when I heard you were coming to Sesame Street, I was so happy.
Why?
Because I knew that you would make it really special. And now you're here.
Aw. Oh, hey, you want to hang out?
Would I?
Oh, okay, cool. Let's do that. Oh, and bring all your friends.
Of course.
Come along, here we go.
Sesame Street's 53rd season launched on November 3rd with Jiyoung as a fully fledged cast member and the show's first Asian American Muppet.
Well, what if we paint something on the wall? Wait.
Paint on the wall?
Yeah.
I'd love it. That is a wonderful idea.
Jiyoung was introduced as a guest last year in the See Us Coming Together special, a full-throated response to anti-Asian American sentiment and hate crimes across the U.S.
Come together when we sing. La 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 la. Fighting, let's go.
Sesame characters have come and gone over its nearly 6-decade run. But the producers and puppet builders who brought Jiyoung to life say the public's reaction to this sparkling character swayed Sesame to cast her permanently.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
We've seen videos of little kids reacting to seeing Jiyoung, and they are just so delighted because they feel seen.
Liz Hara studied American culture and racial representations in children's television programming years before joining Sesame Street.
I mean, the flip side of that also is a little sad that they already know that seeing themselves on TV is a little unique. We wanted somebody who was generationally very close to their culture, but also really want to stress that Asians are born in America. Like we've been here a while. We're not new.
We should all be proud of who we are and where we come from.
We wanted to make sure that the character was authentically Asian without kind of playing into very specific stereotypes. Loud and joyful instead of, you know, the kind of quiet, meek Asian American, and very physical.
The response to her from not only other Asian kids, but their parents has been really overwhelming.
Puppeteer Kathy Kim has been with Sesame Street since 2015 and, like Ji-young, is American-born to immigrant Korean parents. She refers to the days Sesame Street aired only on PBS. These days, each episode premieres on HBO Max.
It feels like such an honor to get to perform her. Back in the day, you know, like we were, as a lot of immigrant kids are, didn't have cable, so PBS was my bread and butter. I feel like I learned about humor and music and friendship and jokes. In that way, Sesame Street really taught me English, like before preschool.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. 반갑습니다.
아이고, 너무 반갑습니다, Miss Vivian.
Can I first ask you what it's been like on Sesame Street?
I'd never seen a neighborhood like it before. Do you know we have an 8-foot-tall bird?
I heard. Yeah.
Even though there's so many different people and monsters and birds and penguins and honkers, everybody belongs.
Belonging and positive self-identity anchor this season's episodes. Here, Ji-young and her friends mix paint colors to create their own skin tones so that all of them can be represented in a community mural.
Ta-da! It's Ji-young pinkish gold, because this beautiful color looks like my skin.
At Sesame Street, we have such a big responsibility and a big role within the fabric of the culture of the U.S. and really of the world.
Executive producer Sal Perez says Ji-young is another way to illustrate how diversity takes many forms. From its Power of We special, where Tamir and Gabriella talk about their experiences as Black children, to the appearance of Oscar winner Troy Kotsur, who is deaf, and the creation of Grandma Nell.
Every decade, every so often, it feels like there's something else happening in the world where we have to rethink what we're doing and how we can further that representation on camera. And so that's how Ji-young really fit into this. How specific can we be with their stories and have them feel authentic? Because that's really what's going to be the most universal.
2, 3.
When I first heard about Ji-young, I actually cried because it was that profound for me.
Anti-oppression strategist and trainer YK Hong works with major corporations and nonprofits. They say Ji-young's arrival on Sesame Street addresses a lack of Asian American representation in popular culture.
The fact that she's a puppet gives you this infinite imagination of what she might represent in our real world. Because to me, for example, the Grouch, let's say, represents to me 500,000 kinds of people, not just this green character. And the same for Ji-young. Ji-young is Korean, but because she's a puppet, and a puppet that was very well crafted, not in any kind of, caricature ways, she's a being that represents everyone at the same time, which is something really hard to do when it's a live person or a live actor representing Asians on screen.
Ji-young definitely has the touch.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm going to start crying. Oh my gosh.
I can take your picture.
Right now when I'm crying? Okay. Sure. Let's do that.
For Asian American Life, I'm Vivian Lee.
I'm Kyung Yoon. It's not every day that you get to talk with a woman who's an actor, a photographer, a journalist, a producer, and an activist. But I got to sit down with Leah Chang, whose extraordinary career can't be reduced to a single word. Yes, that's Tony, Emmy, and Grammy Award winner and star of Hadestown, Andre de Shields, serenading Leah Chang with How Deep is the Ocean? The occasion was the Prospect Theater Company's 2022 Spring Gala, where Leah was honored with the Prospect Muse Award for her lifetime body of work.
It was so moving to be in that room surrounded by all the people that I love. It was very hard to sit on my hands and not photograph all of you, I'm just telling you. It was so special.
Photographing others is Leah's specialty, and something she's been doing professionally in New York for more than 3 decades.
In 1993, I specifically decided that I wanted to document my colleagues and contemporaries in the worlds in which I work, which were acting, fashion, and journalism. In New York, the center of the world, we have access to everybody from politicians to astronauts. Certainly, you were part of my Asian Americans in the Workforce series that was commissioned by APALA, the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, of which my mother was the San Francisco chapter president.
Leah's mother, Beverly Umehara, a mom of 4, had started working as a secretary, but went on to become a renowned labor leader and activist, serving as the president of the San Francisco chapter of the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, or APALA. Tragically, she died from a brain aneurysm at the age of 53, but Leah says her mom's indomitable spirit lives on in her.
Although I'd experienced a lot of early death in my life, I knew that there wasn't a moment to be wasted. And I really knew that I could make a difference.
And Leah has been making a difference ever since, as an actor, a multimedia content producer, and co-founder of Bev's Girl Films, advocating for more roles and positive portrayals of Asian Americans.
I can't remember what you said.
While I've worked a lot in films, from a very early age, all the roles that I got to play or were available for Asian American women at the time were hookers, maids, victims, and gang killers. I'm 6th generation Chinese American. I don't have an accent. I would like to be cast as what I'm sitting in front of you right now. And that's the reason why I created Bev's Girls Films.
What do you see when you look in the mirror?
Bev's Girl Films' debut short film, Hide and Seek, was selected as a top 10 film of 2015 in Asian American Film Lab's 72-hour shootout filmmaking competition, and Leah received a Best Actress nomination. Leah is also the executive producer and host of Backstage Pass with Leah Chang, a TV show she launched in 2022 on the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Her first episode featured an interview with Broadway star Eddie Lee, the first Chinese-American actor to play Alexander Hamilton in the Broadway musical Hamilton. Among her future projects, Leah is most passionate about a documentary on the life of her extraordinary mother. I'm Kyung Yoon for Asian American Life.
In the early 1970s, Asian American artists and activists formed what would become known as the Basement Workshop, the first Asian American arts and cultural organization on the East Coast. I caught up with artist Arlen Wong, one of the original members, who frames the organization's history for us.
Wow, these are great.
Painter Arlen Wong is an OG of the Asian American social justice movement. He's one of the original members of the Basement Workshop, the first Asian American arts and cultural organization on the East Coast.
My span in Basement is very small. It's 1 minute in the history of Basement. But that one minute happens to be dawn.
For Arlen, the dawn of the Asian American social justice movement began more than 50 years ago.
You know, I think America during that time was going through some big changes. People had already known very much what Black Panthers were. At the core of Black Panthers is reclaiming your history, right? Reclaiming your spot in America. So that carries through to other people of color. The first thing I did when I came to New York was to join the anti-war march, join the Asian Coalition, and these singers came up to sing.
And I am a yellow pearl, and you are a yellow pearl, and we are the yellow pearl, and we are half the world.
It was Yellow Pearl, performing their rallying song of the burgeoning Asian American social justice movement.
I had never heard anything like it. They were singing anti-imperialist, anti-colonial songs in the vein of Asian American, how it applied to us. Unheard of, never heard that before.
Inspired, Arlen soon found himself crammed with other Asian American activists in the dingy basement of 54 Elizabeth Street in New York City's Chinatown.
That you share some kind of history and that you are gathered to make your own history and to reclaim that history that you don't know is a big deal.
Arlen volunteered to lead one of the group's projects, a book featuring the music and lyrics of Yellow Pearl and the work of contemporary Asian American artists.
We can't remember if we put out 250 copies or if it's sold at $2.50. What was important in putting out Yellow Pearl was consciousness, Asian American consciousness, anti-imperialism, third world solidarity.
Arlen says he became enmeshed in the work, even met his wife Lillian Ling there. He says he started his business, Squid Frames, in part to support his work at the Basement Workshop.
We could just open up this business, make a little money, right, pay the rent, and then spend our time at Basement doing silk screens and other community activities.
The Basement Workshop got busy. They published Bridge magazine and started providing social services, including art classes, and the very first health fair in Chinatown that would evolve to become the Charles B. Wang Health Center, that's still providing health care for the Chinatown community today.
Basement really planted those seeds of being able to be seen and recognizing that we have the capacity to write ourselves into history.
PhD candidate Christina Ong is writing her dissertation about the Basement Workshop.
Basement was sort of this incubator for the ideas and dreams of Asian Americans. I believe that it gave them the inspiration and the capacity to start their own organizations.
Asian Cinevision and the Chinatown Historical Project, now the Museum of Chinese in the Americas, are just a couple of today's existing organizations that grew out of the Basement Workshop.
Some of them become tomatoes, some of them became flowers and roses, etc.
Eleanor Young branched out and started the Asian American Arts Center a few years after she and her brother Danny Young co-founded the Basement Workshop at 54 Elizabeth Street.
Basement Workshop was the physical space giving room for mental space and emotional space, so our ideas can go out and spread out and build bridges, to different communities.
Basement was a cultural phenomenon. It's one set of shoulders for you to stand on. Where you go is up to you.
Arlen Wong is preparing an exhibit of his art collection from the Basement Workshop days in 2023. For Asian American Life, I'm Rainer Ramirez.
Two pianos, a mom and her son, and a whole host of deserving charities. That's Two Piano Journey.
Whether performing on stage or practicing at home, this dynamic duo is always perfectly in sync. Mother and son concert pianists Michelle and Christopher Kuo have been playing together as Two Piano Journey since 2016. Their mission? To make the world a better place through music.
When we do concerts, they're always to support a nonprofit organization. Every single penny that we raise, every single ticket sale, sponsorship goes directly to the nonprofits that we serve.
A charitable concept that was born out of a son's gratitude to his mother.
Two Piano Journey was a way for me to say thank you to my mom. As I kind of grew older, I realized that my mom had sacrificed a lot of performance opportunities and international travel opportunities basically because she chose to raise my older brother and myself.
As a piano prodigy, Michelle Kuo grew up in Taiwan selling out concert halls.
By the time she was 13 or 14, I think, she had already made her orchestral debut with the National Orchestra in Taiwan, and then she ended up winning the national competition 3 times.
Michelle moved to Hong Kong, won another national competition, then came to the U.S. on scholarship to study at the Eastman School of Music and Juilliard, where she met her husband, got married, and became a mom.
During that time, I was thinking that, well, either I will be a good mother or a good musician.
So Michelle continued to pursue her passion through teaching. Her most important students were her sons. When Christopher went to college, he chose to study finance, but he never lost his appreciation for his craft thanks to his mom's quiet encouragement.
She just left an electric piano with a stack of books, and she said, "It's here for you when you need it."
Over time, Christopher realized he did need it, and that's when the idea for Two Piano Journey was born.
I remember saying, this was something that we used to do as a family when we were younger. I think we might actually have a great chance to do something really exciting if we were to continue that tradition.
The talented team decided to add the charitable element to make the experience truly rewarding.
I'm so grateful that he brought me back to the stage, and we can share our talents and share our love of doing the volunteer for the social impact.
The full-time investment banker takes it one step further, helping smaller and younger charities maximize their contributions.
My goal when I established these partnerships is to set a very ambitious fundraising target a whole year in advance, and then help them build fundraising infrastructure.
To date, the rare mother and son piano pairing has performed over 40 concerts across the country. Their most recent in the city at Carnegie Hall benefited the Chinese American Planning Council of New York City.
The fun part is always talking about what's the next goal, what's our next dream.
It's been the adventure of a lifetime. I wouldn't give this up for anything.
For Asian American Life, I'm Susan Jun.
That's our show for now. Be sure to visit the new museum to check out all the amazing art. And if you want to learn more about our stories, be sure to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Asian American Life. I'm Ernabelle DeMillo. We'll see you next time.